One of the Democrats who aren't that crazy lately is John Fetterman, the U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania. He represents a purple state. It's gone red recently, but he's obviously a Democrat. But he seems to be the only Democrat with a voice of sanity right now. Remember, he was suffering from depression while he was on the campaign trail. He took some time off. He went to go get some mental health, and he came back basically a Republican. Coincidence? Probably not. He was on with Dana Bash just yesterday. And this should surprise nobody. Doesn't surprise you, I'm sure. It certainly doesn't surprise me. He was saying how, during this whole government reopening debate, it was actually the Democrats who were giving him more hate, violent rhetoric, sliding into his DMs, calling his office, sending emails. It was the Democrats who were acting super unhinged and violent during this debate. It wasn't the Republicans. Let's hear it in his own words. Here's John Fetterman with Dana Bash.
Write about that in your book. You said, quote, "I've drunk deeply of the venom of both the left and the right. As a connoisseur, I can confirm that the most poisonous, the bitterest, is from the far left." That is pretty remarkable to hear you say that as an elected Democrat. Why?
No. It's just been my personal experience on this thing. And when I asked my digital team, I said, we're on all the platforms. Really, what's kind of the harshest? What's kind of the most personal? And the answer was immediate. He said, "Oh, blue sky. It's blue sky." And the difference is, the right would say really rough things and names. Some names I won't repeat on TV, but the on the left, it was like they want me to die, or that we're cheering for your next stroke, or that's terrible that depression won. Why couldn't it depression won? And I hope your kids find you. They even have like the graphic, a GIF where they have like a stroke, in your head, cheering at that. Yeah, and they said that. I remember one. They claimed, "Oh, the doctor let us down, and why did they have to save his life?" Just really I just can't imagine. People are wishing, I wish he dies, or I want him to die. Literally cheering for a stroke. And I don't know what the kind of a place where that comes from. That's much different than just calling me a name. That's really been consistent, in that community online.
There's Dana Bash, all stone-faced, super serious. She calls it remarkable, and she acts surprised. Oh my God, she knew. She knows the violence is coming from the left. I'm actually surprised she asked that question because she knew the answer already before she asked it. Wishing death upon a senator, that's just absolutely awful. I would never do that. I would never do that for anybody. My worst enemy. I have enemies. I wouldn't wish that. But it's kind of consistent, right? Look at the examples of Democrat violence on the left. They tried to kill our president at least twice that we know of, in Butler, Pennsylvania, and West Palm Beach in Florida. They assassinated Charlie Kirk because they didn't agree with his ideas. Charlie Kirk's all he's ever done is talked. You have, I don't know how many Trantifa terrorists going into schools and shooting up Catholic school children. Remember, it was just in August in Minneapolis, the Annunciation Catholic school shooter. Remember Robin Westman, a transgender shooter? He had written on his guns Antifa slogans, 6 million wasn't enough. You got in Nashville that transgender shooter, Aubrey Hale. These are not Republicans. These are Democrats. Just in Virginia, in the Commonwealth of Virginia, I live in Virginia. My Commonwealth just elected a man who wished death upon his political opponents and wished that his children would die in his mother's arms. And you know what? Democrats said, that's no problem. We're going to elect the guy. We're going to just make him in charge of law in our state. It's unbelievable. And in hindsight, by the way, like we were thinking, oh, maybe Winsome Sears will lose, but Jason Miyares might beat this Jay Jones guy. Like there'll be some moral clarity between Democrat voters when they split their ticket. How dumb was I to think that? Democrats don't have moral clarity. They're never going to go, okay, I'm going to vote for Abigail Spanberger, but I can't vote for the guy that, wants to kill his opponent's kids. We should have known better. There is no moral clarity among the left. And the left will say, oh, there's violence on the right too. There's violence on the right. Melissa Hortman, she was Minnesota's Speaker of the House on the House side. She was murdered. Her husband was murdered, but the murderer had no political affiliation. In fact, he actually worked for Tim Walz. He worked for Tim Walz at some point. It wasn't a right winger attacking her family. It was personal. It was disgusting. It should be condemned. But that's not some right winger violence. No way. And they'll say, oh, Josh Shapiro's home got burned down. Well, the guy who burned down the home, he was a leftist. He didn't like Josh Shapiro because he was Jewish and he wasn't pro-Palestine enough. It's not the same. They are much more violent. And we need to realize that. John Fetterman realizes that. Dana Bash does too. She just acted surprised. We just saw, I know on Larry's show he played recently, Cheryl Hines, RFK Jr.'s wife, said the same thing. Those are Democrats. And when RFK ran as a Democrat to primary Joe Biden, he was met with nasty, nasty hate, death threats, the whole like. And mind you, this is the party that's protecting democracy. They had to kick RFK Jr. out of the primary race, and just insert Kamala Harris. We digress. But there is a dangerous left out there that we all know exists. And I think finally, maybe CNN viewers, they're all in their tunnel. They think everything's fine on their side. Hopefully they get exposed to that side too. Exposed to the side that, oh, actually, we do have a problem and we should look internally. And maybe we shouldn't call all of our opponents fascists and Nazis and Hitler. Maybe if we repeat that lie enough, people will actually believe it and then, act on it. Duh. We know that crazy people will act on random requests like that. It's just awful. It's awful.